of all the games we uploaded, of all the games we played, I have the Albin counter Gambit. Like, well, I don't know it too well. Like, he knew the trap, so I just had a worse position. Like, here trap is if he goes e3, then bishop b4 gets really dangerous. Like, bishop d2, and you can't take that because I'll show the trap. Why not? Here, like, you have to make a knight, and after take back in this, and you win the queen. But unfortunately, he did not fall for it, and soon played a3, stopping any bishop b4 ideas. So I just put this because I'm pretty sure like one idea is like rotate this knight over to g6 to try and win the pawn back. But now he goes e3, and yeah, I'm really just worse. Even if I did get my pawn back, I just have a bad position. Oh, now I'm losing apparently. Oh, he missed knight b5. Now I can just like slowly just defend my position. But like I don't like the position I got from this. Like it wasn't very good after he didn't fall for the trap. And like he didn't convert his advantage properly, so I was able to like escape with only like a minimal loss. G6 and a5. King b2. We have a trade, and this is just a draw, really. I'm pretty sure somewhere I actually won a pawn eventually. Yeah, I did win a pawn eventually, but it was unfortunately still a draw. Yeah, right here I won a pawn, but isn't even winning because he also has a passed pawn. Right around here, it actually got very scary. Bishop f3, king f5, king g5, and from here I was basically hoping that he lost, but he didn't. Right around here, like I actually thought I was gonna lose. Oh, yeah, I thought I was gonna lose here, but if he takes my queen, then I have this stopping it, which is actually happened in the game. So I'm glad I didn't lose. And this game ended in a draw, but yeah, I don't like the Albin Queen's Gambit, which like it would be higher if it wasn't for one thing. It's very positional, and I don't really like positional chess. Like we both just developed our pieces. I played e3, kept pawn defended. I took the knight to increase pressure on the center. I played bishop e2. He went rook e8, and I castled. We had knight c6, and I played rook c1. He took the pawn, which already made like a much better position with a lot more space in the center. Because the knight's not supposed to go in front of the c-pawn. Knight a5. That was purpose of a3, so I could play bishop a2, and I still have a very strong bishop. Then I could just like expand on the queen side with moves like this. a6 and knight c5. We had a quick little trade. I decided to take it back with the rook because now if he ever tries to kick away with the rook, then it really like loosens up the c-file. And queen c2. Now I'm putting a lot of pressure on his position. Oh. Even knight to e7. Rook c1. Increase the pressure. I took the knight when he placed it there, and then took the pawn. We had a series of trades, and at the end of the day, I am up a pawn. I went g3 first, so just he has a light square bishop, so I placed all my pawns on dark squares. Rook c8, we traded rooks, and I played knight to e5, thinking that my knight is better than his bishop. Combined fact of a pawn meaning I should be able to turn this into a win. f6 went knight d3. Then I brought my king over, and realized that I should eventually like find a better square for my knight. And I played that with knight b2. He went b5. Like the idea of this was so I could play knight a4 and attack his pawn. But when he played this, I can't go knight a4 and the rest of my plan changed. And put the knight on c5 instead and take advantage of the hole he has created. f7, f3. And I'm just going to build for an e4 push, which I did. h4, king e3. We had a trade, king d7 and d5, king d6, and Like, I just played the long game this game because that's just kind of the point of the Queen's Gambit. You're trying to just slowly have a better position and just like slowly improve. So while I did play a different playstyle, I guess I'd just sack the knight and then get the queen and give a pawn for the queen, then just promote this pawn and win. And he resigns very soon. Yeah, right here. So it will be higher if it was more aggressive. I have the King's Gambit. Starting with e4, e5, f4. The lines here get pretty crazy. Like this time Apocalypse took. I went knight f3 and he went d6. This is the Fisher defense. The idea is he wants in the Fisher defense. Black still plays g5 to hang on their pawn, but they just do it so white cannot play knight to e5 like normal. Well, Apocalypse fails to understand that and just plays bishop to e7, which just gives me a really good position. Knight f6, knight c3, castles, bishop e3, bishop g4, h3, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, knight c6, knight e2, a6, c3, b5, and g4. I decided to start an attack with these kingside pawns rather than castling kingside. I decided to go to castle queenside, then just get an attack like this. Rook d to g1, knight b6, and h4. Start an attack. He took it, which you cannot take that. It gives me too much open lines. Queen h3, g5, bishop d2, and h6. I went knight g3, knight e7, and knight f5. I've successfully managed to open up his king, and he has a very weak position. Queen d7, and I just took the bishop. Queen c6, queen takes h6. We had a queen trade, and he got checkmated here. Bishop f6, king f8, rook h8. So that's why I'm placing the King's Gambit so high, because it's just super aggressive and you can easily get a good attacking position. Which I actually forgot how to play, so I just had like a worse position. d4, d5, get that trade. Knight f6, knight g5, and h6. We had that same sack. And knight f3, knight b to d7, bishop d3, c5, c3, e6, and castles. Like that, now I know they're supposed to play like rook d1, and I forgot that you're supposed to play knight d5 at some point. So that's when bishop c4 is trying to attack him and build pressure on this weak e6 pawn. Knight b6, bishop b5, knight h4, a6, and bishop to e2. King g8, knight g6. And he actually hung a knight, but I missed it because we had played a lot of games at this point, and my ability to play well was just like gone. Bishop e3 and rook c7. Bishop e4, queen e8. Rook e2, bishop c5. Bishop takes f6, knight takes f6. Rook a to e1, queen c6. I took this pawn, which is apparently wrong, but I thought it was good because it brought all this pressure, but we found a crazy line here. He had to go queen to d5, and this doesn't work because of this, or even this, and then you win back the queen like this. But he went queen d7, which is a blunder because of this. And yeah, I did miss checkmate. I went knight f8 check instead. He went king h8, and takes d7, which is another miss checkmate. And then he got checkmate like this. This could have been a better game though. Most crazy games is this game was a Halloween Gambit, and this one was very aggressive. Like Halloween Gambit is very aggressive. Like you'll see what it is in a second. He sacked the knight in the center to then push your pawns forward and push black back and gain control of the center. Here there are two moves here, bishop c4 and queen f3. I played the more tricky and aggressive move, queen to f3. And here, like, black has to go to, like, d5. He failed to play d5 and just went d6 instead. And now, like, white's not even losing anymore. Like, computer hates the Halloween, but it has a lot of tricks and traps. Because now I have bishop c4. And now I'm better. Like, you can't sound like this because I simply take it with my dark sword bishop. So, like, yeah, you have black kind of, like, has to play queen d7 or something, which is never good. Bishop to e6. And here, I did not take the bishop. American queen f3, pressure here, but also pressure here. e7's hanging. And he took the bishop, which is actually an inaccuracy because of this check. But you can't block with the queen because you lose your rook. So that means you have to move the king up. And I took the bishop back. And he took on e5, which, like, this is a bit inaccurate because he's opening up the center, and his king's on e7. I guess I just simply castle here rather than recapture, because I'm losing pawn. Because if I take back, then he has knight takes e5, and I feel like he could have consolidated at some point. So I put this just to get more pieces into the game. Knight f6 and rook e1. Now he's under a lot of pressure. King e8, d takes e5, knight d7, and I just lunge forward, e6, takes, bishop to e7, build the pressure. He is under attack, build the pressure. He's defending with everything, build the pressure. There's pressure on c7, there's pressure on e7, king f8, takes. I mean, we have a mass trade. Knight b6, queen b4. Now there's even more pressure. c5, I took that. Rook c8, take that. And it just shows the Halloween cannot be taken lightly. It cannot be taken lightly. Gambit heroes. First up, I have the Evans Gambit. Like, I played all these games against the Apocalypse attack. Unfortunately, we played the Evans Gambit like last towards the end because we played a bunch of other Gambits first. And this is when like last ones came to my mind. So unfortunately, my gameplay was the worst because my brain was like tired out. But Evans Gambit, I followed the main line d4, and he took. And the move here is not take back; it's actually just a castle. And then you're not supposed to take gambits to this. And the white just wins the piece right back. Now I'm only down one pawn, but look at his king. Like, I have to explain why this is bad. Rook e1, bishop g4, and I went like b to d2. h6, bishop a3, creating a threat of playing e5. King g8, knight h4. Like, I was trying to put more pressure on his king. f3. Supposed to play queen c2 apparently. Bishop h5, queen c2. Threatening discovery. King g8. Rook a to b1. I'm just putting more and more pressure on his position. Rook b8. Knight f1. I was trying to reroute it over to the g3 or something. And I did. Queen d2. Knight c6. Bishop b2. Knight e5. Knight to f5. Just trying to keep up the attack. Knight c4. Queen c3. And yeah, right here, I actually forgot that I don't have my bishop here anymore because, like I said, this was one of the last games played, so it was the worst. And I played that. And unfortunately here, he's still okay. Bishop e6, but now, but right around here, I made another mistake, and I completely forgot his queen existed and played this. But still, the Evans game was a lot of fun, and I did actually win this game because he blundered under time pressure. But Unfortunately, the Evans Gambit was towards like that last game we played, and if it wasn't, my gameplay would have been a lot better. But I was burnt out from the previous games, and I do have more Evans Gambit games that are even crazier. But let's move on to the other game.